Plan your weekend getaway in Roanoke.
Stay tuned. Everybody, it's Hal Cohn.
And Chris Cohn with Cohn Realty Group.
If this is your first time to our channel, 100th, 1000th time to our channel, and you have not clicked the subscribe button, as well as the bell icon so that you're notified each and every time we release a new video about living, working, and playing in the amazing Roanoke Valley, please make sure you do that right now.
Absolutely, because we have folks constantly contacting us saying they want to move to or within Roanoke, Salem, Botetourt, and the surrounding areas. So if that's you, your friends, or your family, we'd love to help. Have a connection with you. Let's have a conversation. Find out what it is that we can do to help you out and answer those questions. You can email us, text us, or give us a call.
Hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, so let's see here. What do we have going on this side of the screen today?
Well, I'm packing up because we are going on a little trip for our spring break this week. Woo! 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 And I'm really excited about it. I love going traveling, and I love taking my vintage Samsonite.
Samsonite versus the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Travel case. I love this thing. And it holds everything, all my toiletries.
Does anybody else have a travel case? Put it in the comments, take a picture of it, snap it, send it to us on Facebook or YouTube, whatever you like.
Right.
So
it's so fun.
But as we were thinking about traveling here in the spring, summer, some great weather here in Roanoke right here, early part of the spring. So if you're thinking about making a trip here, you're gonna want to find some things to do. So one, you may be considering relocating.
Right.
Two, you may just say, hey man, Roanoke's a really cool place and I want to come hang out. What am I going to do? And we're going to try to make that simple for you today by giving you a detailed, like a 36-hour itinerary, which is going to be jam-packed with stuff. So whether you live here or whether you're just coming to hang out, you're going to have something to do here that's going to be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Yeah, and we were looking at the itinerary and thinking, wow, we should do this too. So staycation, if you already live in the area, check out this itinerary. I think you could jazz it up, make it a lot of fun. But really, I mean, this comes from the heart of planning. You know, when you're visiting a new city or a city you potentially want to live in, it's tough to really know where to go, where the locals recommend, or what spots you really shouldn't miss. So there were a ton of different itineraries we could pull from our own experiences, and also the website that we found was a huge resource for us. And they had a ton, like 20 some itineraries.
Yeah, so if you go to visitRoanokeVA.com, that's the website we're using as our source here today. And so with that, they've got a plan of trips and sample itineraries for you. And so some of those could be like an Amtrak long weekend. You could do a arts and culture weekend. You could do a beer lovers weekend. You've got family fun. You've got railroad history. You've got romantic, mountain biking, outdoors, weekend on a budget. So those are some option sample itineraries that they pulled together, and we'll be doing some additional videos on those as well.
Yes, and some of our own too, because we've kind of pieced together some of our favorite attractions and some of our favorite restaurants we provide as a resource too, because it's fun to kind of get an insider feel on what you should do while you're here to maximize your time.
Yeah, so without further ado, let's jump into our 36-hour itinerary here for you when you come into Roanoke. So you've made your reservations, and if you've made reservations based on any of the videos you watched from us, we would recommend that you stay at Hotel Roanoke. So you're gonna get checked into Hotel Roanoke, and that's where your excursion is gonna start for your 36 hours here in Roanoke, Virginia.
And what a vacation. I mean, when you check into Hotel Roanoke and get into your room, hopefully you'll find it as wonderful and beautiful as we did. I had a little girls' weekend with all the girls on my side of the family, and it was just so wonderful. It just feels very indulging. It is a very old, it's a very historic hotel right in the center of downtown Roanoke, built in 1882, and it has over 300 rooms, each a little different.
Yes.
And it's just gorgeous. It's got the Regency Room, which is an upscale dining option. They also have the Pine Room, which is a little more laid back, kind of bar atmosphere. But the Regency Room is famous for their peanut soup.
Peanut soup, I was like, I don't know about that, but I did have it and it's quite tasty.
Yes.
No.
So you may have partaken in a little beverage before you left the hotel, you gotten situated, but you were like, hey, I really want to get some delectable food here in Roanoke, and we're going to recommend one of the best Roanoke restaurants in River and Rail, which is a Southern Bistro.
What I love about River and Rail is that they have a lot of locally sourced, wild-caught, and organic foods that they put right on your plate. And it's a really cool mix, fusion of flavors. Like when we went...
You'll get tired of hearing this story one day.
I know, but it was just so good. Our meal was delicious. But what I loved is that things change quite a bit.
Yeah,
but,
every day. They have a new menu every day. So before you go, check it out so you know what you're getting.
Right, but for our appetizer, we got pork rinds and champagne.
Vintage champagne.
Which was a little unusual, but it was perfect. It fit our personalities and our taste buds just very well.
Yeah, so make sure you let us know what you enjoyed the most at River and Rail whenever you went. Okay, so you've had a delicious meal over at River and Rail, but you're like, hey, the night's still young.
We are two wild and crazy guys!
So let's go have some drinks and also listen to some live music in downtown Roanoke over at Martin's.
Yeah, Martin's is a great spot. They have over 275 live music shows a year. I know, that's one almost every night.
Yeah,
that's
a lot.
fantastic. But it's a great spot. The restaurant itself is very good. It's got wings and burgers and great mac and cheese. But at night it turns into this great place you can enjoy live music and dance the night away.
You're old enough to dance the night away.
You danced the night away, you shook your groove thing, and now you are ready to crash at the hotel. Good night's rest.
3 hours later.
What are you gonna need?
Breakfast. I love that saying, like breakfast first, then everything else. I've heard that about coffee too, but
Depending on who you are.
that's right. I'm not a big coffee drinker, but I have to have breakfast.
Coffee first, then breakfast for me.
There you go. So we recommend you go to the ROANOKER restaurant. And this is an iconic restaurant that is just fantastic. It's a community gathering spot. You'll see a lot of civic organizations. Even my mom's water aerobics group, they meet there for breakfast every once in a while. So it's just a good little gathering spot for the community.
Yeah, and even though we've got some subscribers that say you have to be 65 plus to attend there, to go there and get food, that is inaccurate. We love it and we are not 65 or above.
That's right. It's fantastic no matter what your age is. And some of our favorites are the Crafton's breakfast, and also Charlie Warren's breakfast is really good too.
Yeah, so you can get any type of breakfast you want there. You can just get oatmeal, but I mean, if you're going out for breakfast, I mean, get the good stuff,
Get
you
the
know?
pancakes, the bacon, grits.
The eggs, the grits, toast, jelly, famous for their biscuits. So you're not gonna go hungry while you're on your trip, and you're especially not gonna go hungry after you hit that large breakfast meal at the Roanoker. So your belly's full, you had an amazing breakfast at the Roanoker, and now it's time to get a little bit of shopping in at downtown Roanoke with some vendors at the City Market Center, which is one of the longest running markets in the state of Virginia.
Yeah, it is a fantastic farmer's market. Make sure you take that reusable bag because you're gonna fill it up full of produce that's sourced locally. They also have meats you can buy, souvenirs, crafts, you name it, jewelry, everything. I love walking down there. I just think it's got this great energy and vibe, and lots of goodies that you can bring back to the hotel and enjoy, and bring to your friends too.
Yeah, and it's local folks who are there every single weekend, you know, selling their products, so you get to know them, like them, trust them, and just get some really, really tasty food. And like she said, like there's pictures, jewelry, etc. But then if that's not enough for you, there's actual individual shops in downtown Roanoke as well. And what are some of our favorites down there?
Well, I love ARTSY June. This is a place where you can get a lot of souvenirs for yourself and for others on your list too, but just really neat crafts. I love it. You got me an apron from there for Christmas.
Did, yes.
Really nice.
Earrings.
Yeah, oh, that's true.
Handcrafted.
Yeah. And Ladles and Linens, which is a kitchen shop. It's really fun. I encourage you to check that out. One of our favorites is also chocolate paper. So they have gifts and also chocolate. They have a huge display case of chocolates, and you can't imagine. I mean, it's so nice.
If you're a big chocolate lover, the only way I can get her to eat chocolate if you put it on top of a Potato chips, and they actually
And
have
they have
chocolate
it.
covered potato chips and chocolate paper.
But what I love is the beauty of the chocolates too. It sounds silly, but you should see some of the artwork they've done on the chocolates and the edible glitter and everything. It's very pretty. And speaking of art, there's a lot of art galleries around that area too. So you're not gonna lack for checking out our culture and arts and some of our local vendors and business owners when you're downtown at the city market.
Well, thank you. That was a perfect segue for our next segment, which is going to be arts and culture in downtown Roanoke.
How fun.
Yeah.
So right there, smack dab in the middle of downtown, is Center in the Square. And it's 7 floors of arts and culture. So I love that. It's all just jam-packed into one building. And the roof, if you can make it up to the roof, it is just a phenomenal view of our skyline, 360 view. And there's some surprises up there too. There's a green roof, there's a little walking area, you've got some water features as well. It's a beautiful place to go up to.
Yeah, and if you're inside, you're going to want to check out Kid Square, which is a kind of like a miniature city where they can be doctors and nurses, they can be an x-ray tech, they can be a veterinarian, they can play trucks in like a little sand pit.
Yes.
But lots of different things for the kiddos
So
to do
fun.
while they're inside a Kid Square.
There's also the Harrison Museum of African American Culture, and also the Roanoke Pinball Museum, which I actually remember taking you to on a date.
She did, and it was so much fun, although I could only do about an hour or 2 hours worth, and I was tapped out. But if you are a pinball lover, they've got a gazillion, not quite that many, but they've got quite a few pinball machines that you'll remember from being a kid that you can play unlimited for a certain set price.
So when you're done touring all of Center in the Square and all that it has to offer, you can just walk right over to our art museum, which you can't miss.
Dear God, what is that thing?
Because it has some very cool architecture just gracing our skyline. You like that?
Yep. And our youngest daughter calls it the Shark Museum, but it kind of looks like a shark.
Yeah, the Shark Building. It does. It has a really neat profile, and I love the architecture. But going in there, you can see some different art collections, and they do have revolving art collections throughout the museum. But what else do they have in the bottom?
They have Art Venture for the kids and the adults. There's a stage area so they can actually use puppets. They can actually dress up and act things out. You can do Legos, you can do painting, you can do drawing, all sorts of great stuff for the kids. Oh, modeling, yeah, don't forget that. So lots of options inside of there for the kids. And then once you're done there, if you're not tapped out already, there's another museum in downtown Roanoke, the Virginia Museum of Transportation.
Oh yeah, you're not gonna wanna miss this. I mean, talk about planes, trains, and automobiles.
And rockets.
That's true. You're gonna find it all there at the Transportation Museum. Just such a fun place to walk all around there, and you can even go out to the train yard and get inside of these huge locomotives. I mean, they are massive when you're right on top of them.
They are. They're way larger than you ever think they are whenever you just see them go by on the road or some railroad tracks. You're like, that's pretty big. But you get inside of it, you're like, wow, these are pretty massive.
And this is, of course, a nod to the Roanoke history. We were founded by the railroad. And so you need to check that out just to get a little taste of Roanoke's arts, culture, and history.
Whew, all that arts and culture has made me hungry. So where can you eat in downtown Roanoke? Make sure you check out the Historic City Market building where you can find some great flavors to eat.
Yeah, there's a variety of local restaurants. It's this whole consortium under one rooftop. And I love that because you can one person can get Mexican, one person can get Chinese, one person can get Caribbean, and then you all meet up and eat at the table. So you're not pigeonholed into one flavor. There's lots of different ones to choose from.
Yeah, the good thing is it's gonna be fresh, ready to eat, so you can eat quickly, and then you can go on to your next adventure, which we would recommend to get in your car and heading out to McAfee's Knob for a hike.
A big hike.
That's right.
When you think of hiking the Appalachian Trail, a lot of people have in their mind this cliff face where people are right on the edge. That's McAfee's Knob, and you see this gorgeous skyline around it. The mountains it's just picturesque.
It is, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's not for the faint of heart now. It is gonna be a hike. It's gonna be out and back. It's gonna be 8.8 miles So what do you think you need to make sure you have with you?
You have to prepare for this hike. It's
Yeah.
very important that you prepare by having adequate water supplies, you have enough food and snacks, you have any medical equipment that you may need in case you have a little accident, and also bug spray, hiking boots, those things. So don't just flippantly go in your flip-flops. Make sure you're prepared for this great hike that's well worth it, but can be a bit strenuous at times.
Whew! I am glad that we hydrated on that hike, and I'm sure you did too. So therefore, it's time to go and quench your parchness with...
Your parchness.
Yeah.
You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Quench your thirst.
Quench your thirst. I was thinking I am parched. Anyways, you can just go right on down from McAfee's Knob, drive down to Parkway Brewing Company, which is in Salem, and get you a couple of brewskis and maybe even some food from the food truck.
Yeah, they have craft beers. What I like about Parkway so much is the atmosphere. They have indoor seating, of course, but also outdoor seating that is just right along a little creek. And it's a fun atmosphere, very laid back, family friendly, dog friendly. And a lot of times they have live music and food trucks, like you mentioned.
That's right. So two of the most popular beers they have is the Get Bent Mountain IPA and then the Majestic Mullet. Gosh.
I mean, you can't say that with a straight face.
No, you can't.
So, funny names, great beer.
All right, let's stay on schedule here now.
Time after time.
So let's make sure that we get to the next venue, which is going to be a restaurant and bar in downtown Salem. That's called Blue Apron and Red Rooster Bar.
Yeah, this is a really neat place for some modern cuisine and a really intimate atmosphere. This is a place you're going to sit back, relax, and enjoy local flavors, local food, in this really special place. I like Blue Apron a lot. I enjoyed our time when we were there. It was very special.
This is not going to be a quick in and out when you go to Blue Apron and Red Rooster Bar. It's going to be a place where you can unwind, you can talk about your day, what you love about Roanoke, and what's been the best part so far as you unwind and prepare for the next day. So after you've enjoyed that great meal and atmosphere at Blue Apron and Red Rooster Bar, make sure you either drive up or you can even take an Uber to have them take you up to Mill Mountain so you can actually see the Roanoke Star, which is so iconic, and tell us all about it.
That's right, the Roanoke Star is something you're not going to want to miss.
Look, up in the sky, it's a bird.
It's a plane!
This is just something that Roanoke is known for since 1949 when it was first erected up on top of Mill Mountain. And it was actually meant to be a holiday decoration, but locals loved it so much that we kept it around. It's the largest illuminated star, man-made star of course, on top of a mountain, and it is just such a sight to see. Every night it's illuminated. You can go up there, there's an overlook, and you can just check out the whole city skyline, the whole valley really. I mean, it is just beautiful to see.
Now it's time to mosey on back down the mountain into Roanoke downtown. You're getting closer to the hotel, but hey, you still got a lot of energy. You're like, I'm ready to go out and party!
Michael wants to party all the time, party all the time, party all the time.
So let's go dancing that away at one of the iconic places downtown, which is...
Well, Corned Beef and Company, there's a lot of nightlife. You'll see that it's a very active and vibrant downtown at night. But Corned Beef and Company has just been really well known. I used to go there a lot. Great place to meet up with friends, have some good food, and also they even have pool tables. So if you want to play a little billiards.
Shoot a good stick.
You can try your hand at that. Great spot for music, fun, dancing. And then when you're done, where do you want to walk over to?
This is a place called the Texas Tavern.
The stars at night are big and bright.
So good. Open 24 hours a day, feeding hungry people since 1930. And it has like 10 bar stools. Right now they're doing carry out only because of Corona. But it's a great atmosphere and place to go into. I love it.
Yep, make sure you get you a bowl or a cup of chili, and then also one of my favorite there is the Cheesy Western. And the Cheesy Western is a hamburger with cheese, and then you throw an egg on top so you get that extra protein.
That's right. Family owned and operated at Texas Tavern is a spot that you do not want to miss, and I always like the hot dogs. But one thing you gotta make sure of, don't ask for ketchup. And don't worry about it, just don't ask for ketchup.
Yeah.
That way they'll think you're a local.
Ah, yes, great night's rest at the Hotel Roanoke. Just had my coffee and I am hungry.
Me too.
I need some brunch. Where are we gonna go today?
Well, there is an option for a 3-hour brunch walking tour.
Ooh,
How cool is that?
3-hour tour.
Yeah.
For a 3-hour tour, a 3-hour tour.
3-hour tour.
Good singing, honey. Good job. Yes, you can actually check out Tour Roanoke's 3-hour walking tour, and it features brunch spots, and you get to taste it from 6 different areas. Or restaurants, I should say.
Yeah.
That would be phenomenal.
It would be. We're going to have to try that out ourselves just
Yeah.
locally here very, very soon.
There's a lot of dining spots throughout the valley, but I like this idea of brunch and just spreading it out over time. So really neat idea.
Yeah, and once you're done with that, hopefully you got your car packed up and you're ready to head home. One of the best ways to get home is to at least go a smidge of the way, a little portion of the way, on the Blue Ridge Parkway, because it is a scenic byway here in the U.S. and in the East.
Yes, and it's termed America's favorite drive for a reason. It's so beautiful. Speed limit's 45, so it's not too fast, and you'll see a lot of motorcycles enjoying this road, but it's just got this view shed, which means unobstructed. There's no buildings on either side, and you can really take in the forest and the lovely flora and fauna
There you
of
go.
the area. And you can stop along the way and hike a little bit at certain trails and look at overlooks if
Yeah,
you
the
need to
scenic
stretch.
overlooks are huge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If you need to stretch your legs, highly recommend. Pop off and check it out.
What fun! When are we gonna plan our 36-hour staycation?